So I have a confession to make. I mean, you were probably all wondering what that breakdown was last week when I was in tears. And I've kept this a secret for so long. But you know, sometimes you've just got to say it. And I'm seeing a lot of stuff right now about true love. And it's just reminding me that if there's someone out there who just calls to your heart and you can't stop thinking about them, there's a reason for that. And there's a difference between obsession and fear of being alone versus true, authentic connection. And for most of my life, I longed for that. Ever since I was a little girl, I believed in true love. I believed that one day my prince would come. And I couldn't find him. I couldn't find him when I was 16. I couldn't find him when I was 17. Couldn't find him when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then when I hit 23, this guy came into my life that I thought was my prince. But it turns out we didn't see each other fully. We didn't actually connect. I love to read, and he doesn't. He didn't understand it. I didn't realize at the time that all those pretty words, he was basically Gaston and I was Belle. I was still looking for my prince and I could not find him. For so long, I just held on to that relationship. I had children with this man and I tried so hard to make it work. And in the end, he broke my heart so many times because we just could not see each other. We just did not have it. We thought that it was love, but we had no idea. We had no idea what true love really was. I sometimes feel like I'm the Little Mermaid and I was just like cursed because or Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella or Snow White, just waiting for my prince to come. Except it took so long. And it wasn't until I finally decided in 2020 that I was just done. I was done being treated so badly. I didn't deserve it. For all of my loyalty, all of my forgiveness, I was still just, my heart hurt. And I couldn't do it anymore. So I started working towards my dreams. I started writing my book and I started working towards getting myself out because I figured if I stepped up, if I became as great as I was, then it wouldn't matter if I had to leave today or tomorrow or 2 years from now. It didn't matter. I needed to be able to set myself free. And it didn't even matter if I ever found my prince. And then the funniest thing happened. I wasn't looking for it. It found me. I was scrolling on Instagram and there was just something about him. Our eyes just locked. And he couldn't see me because it was a live stream and I was just watching, but I was just captivated. And then a few days later, I got a backstage pass to watch him. It was so forbidden. I mean, teacher and student, not a good combination. Client and like entrepreneur, definitely not a good thing. And I was also getting so much attention already. And I was starting to get brought up into things. And I knew that it wouldn't look good to be sleeping my way to the top. So I really held back on that part. I just wanted to be around him. I just wanted to learn from him. He and I shared so many values in common. It was just so beautiful. His heart just, it sang to mine. It really did. There was just something so powerful there. And he loved all the same things I loved. And he loved the books and the movies. And oh, I could have listened to him for hours. And we'd started to build a connection. It was fleeting. Because just when I was ready, when I had set myself free back in 2021 in July. And I thought, now I just need to heal myself. And I knew it because when I wasn't working with my partner anymore, I just knew it's like this man is the one that I meant to be with. I just had that feeling. So I worked really hard to get myself out. And I was like, in a year's time, I'll be free, I'll be healed, I'll be able to do it. Like right now, I can't exactly date because I'm still healing from this trauma that I went through, and it's not right. But I waited too long. By the time I finally sent something to try to get a little bit more of a connection, he found somebody else. And it broke my heart. It was like the scene with Ariel when she's all excited because she feels she's finally getting a connection with her prince, and he's looked into her eyes, and there's just that energy between them every time they're together. And you just know it's like it's the most beautiful little romance unfolding. And all of a sudden, you go and you see that he's with someone else that's kind of like you, but not really. And you can just tell it's like it's Vanessa. It's Ursula, the sea witch in disguise. And it's like, no. And I tried really, really hard to just let him go. I did. I tried so hard because I wanted him to be happy. But at the end of the day, my heart just would not go anywhere else. I could not forget him. So I made a decision last summer that I was going to love him on my own. And I did. I sent him so many beautiful messages that he never responded to. And he didn't even look at them for months, but I wanted him to see how beautiful his heart was, because I could see that he was in so much pain and that he didn't believe in himself. And I wanted him to believe in himself so much. Even if it wasn't with me that he was going to be with, he needed to hear those words. I could tell he wasn't getting that. And he needed it so bad. And in the end, I ran into him back in July and our eyes met, but he acted like he didn't know me. It was so strange that he was so distant, and we had had such a connection before. I didn't understand. And then I kept trying to get him to come and meet me. I mean, we were down at the same beach. It wouldn't have been difficult. I would have met him right where he was at. I wouldn't have taken anything away from him. And he never responded. He made a choice that devastated me. Absolutely devastated me. I saw he was going to ride off into the sunset with her. And I was like, no. So I tried one last time. I gave my everything. I told him I loved him. I told him I would always love him, but it was hurting my heart to keep hanging on if he was never going to choose me, to just let me go. Because I wasn't strong enough to do it on my own. I knew I would still chase after him. I would still try to send messages to him. And I had to do the hardest thing. I was so careful with his heart when I did it. I did it in the most loving, beautiful way. And he closed the door. And now I can't reach him. And now I feel like my heart is breaking. Because I still love him, and I still believe in him, and I still believe in happily ever after. And I don't know what's going to happen. I've just been dreaming of true love's kiss all this time. For 2.5 years I've been dreaming of it. And that's my secret. That's why I was so sad. And that's why I'm still sad. I've tried to be strong for so long. I've kept it all in. I didn't want to take anything from him. It wasn't ethical. It wasn't right back then. I didn't want to make him look bad. Because the worst thing in the world would be for him to feel guilty for loving me. So I let him go. I didn't want to. but I had to. I just couldn't take the pain anymore. But the pain's still there. So if you have something to say to your true love and the door is still open for you, say it. I haven't closed the door on my side. All he has to do is open his. And if you've closed the door on your side, your true love, they might be still waiting. Open the door. I promise you. True love conquers all. It's worth it. It's worth all the fear. It's worth it because if you never say anything, you may not get another chance. So that's what I have to say. I love you. And I'll talk to you soon once I move through this. Pray for me that I get my happily ever after. I've been waiting for so many years. I just want to have his babies. I always have. And no other man will do. I want his babies. I'll be his everything, 'cause he's everything to me. Thank you for listening. And I hope you find your true love too if they're still waiting for you and you're still sad.